Hello, fine folk of the internet. Welcome to the first ever deep dive discography video edition. This is very exciting. This is a new development. This is how we are going to expand our little podcast, our little endeavor. And we're going to start off with a real doozy. First of all, you get to see our faces and how we animate and how we move, what we look like. That's pretty cool. And
I don't know if that's cool.
I think it's pretty cool. I think this is exciting and momentous.
Momentous.
Yeah, you get to
not
see how
monumentous.
much I smile. No,
it's full of momentum.
Full of momentum. Yeah, it goes really fast. And speaking of things that go really fast, I think we're going to talk about Metallica, and we're going to do a tier list.
Shit! I did this wrong.
What did you do?
Nothing. Go.
We're going to do a Metallica tier list, and we're going to do the main discography, full disclosure. We are going to talk about some of the EPs, but not all of them, because, you know, some of them are more important than others. Like, on this tier maker thing over here, we have some weird ones. Like, we have, like, Binge and Purge Live. Like, we're not really going to talk about the live stuff. We're not going to talk about the Mission Impossible single. Just main discography stuff. Sorry?
But I Disappear is not on an album.
Yeah, I don't care, though.
Okay. I mean,
Can't make everybody happy, which is the name of our podcast. So,
yeah.
I don't think Metal Up Your Ass is on here, so let's start off with the good shit. Let's start off with Kill 'Em All. Now, Kill 'Em All, first full-length album. This is a very, very good album, but where does it lie on this list, Aaron? What do you think?
B.
You think B?
C. Charlie.
Yeah, yeah, I would probably agree. Here's the thing about Kill 'Em All. I'm willing to say it's a C tier Metallica album. The thing about Kill 'Em All is obviously it's very good. Every song is very entertaining, very listenable. But as far as Metallica goes, is it their best? I don't really think that it is. I think they get better, honestly.
Oh, they definitely get better.
Some people would call this the peak. I don't think that's true. It's a little like
they peaked instantly.
I'm sorry?
They peaked instantly is what people like to say.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think this album's really good, but I think they get better as time goes on. Like, obviously there's great moments on it, but, there's some moments I'm like, whatever. It's not the most amazing thing ever. Also, you have Pulling Teeth on here, which is, for those who don't know, that's the instrumental where it's basically a Cliff Burton solo. Having bass solos on your metal album, tough break. No album with a metal bass solo will ever be A or S tier. Just throwing it out there.
Wow, throwing shade at the basis.
Yeah.
Don't blame you.
Yeah. What about Ride the Lightning?
Ooh. Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where do you think? Better or worse? Equal to?
I think it's a B. I think it's a B tier album.
Yeah.
What would you?
Yeah, I think it's. I definitely think it's better than Kill 'Em All. I don't think it's their best by any means. So definitely B. I mean, everyone likes to shit on Escape and it being like their first radio song, but like Escape's actually a good song.
I like Escape.
So shut up.
I actually
shut
like
the
Escape.
fuck up, everyone.
Honestly, man, I know people say it's their first radio song, but I don't even know if it's that accessible, honestly. Like, yeah, there's a chorus, but is it really that accessible? Like, there's no acoustic. It's not an acoustic ballad. It's still like a rockin' tune.
And everyone who says it's like their first radio song, sure, it may have been the first radio song, but there's so much more from Kill 'Em All that's played on the radio at this point.
Yeah, I think anything that's on Kill 'Em All is more accessible than Ride the Lightning. Ride the Lightning's heavier, and I would say Kill 'Em All is pretty much a proto-thrash album, or close enough to a proto-thrash album, and Ride the Lightning is actually a thrash album in the way that you and I probably know it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot heavier. Kill 'Em All is kind of speed metal, heavy metal kind of shit. Kind of, worship, and, granted that makes sense. Thrash metal wasn't really an established genre of tropes and stuff yet, so. But yeah, I as far as like what I like to listen to when it comes to Metallica, I never throw on Kill 'Em All. I would probably listen to Ride the Lightning by choice.
Yeah, I definitely would listen to Ride the Lightning by choice.
Okay, so this is the easier part of the tier list. I think Master of Puppets, S tier.
I don't. I would put I would I would put it in A. Personally. I do think it's a very good album. I think it has a lot of good songs, but I also think it has a lot of like songs much longer than they need to be.
So the song length, yeah, okay. Because for example, the actual title track, "Master of Puppets," is like what, 8 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't respect your time.
No, it no, it really doesn't. I would agree that it is longer than it needs to be, but what it does have, however, is probably Metallica as we know it is definitely Master of Puppets. Like every single song on this album is worth listening to. You have Disposable Hero on here, you have Battery. Like it's so good. The Thing That Should Not Be. The production's awesome. It's heavy as fuck. Every song is catchy and memorable. Like if you here's why I think it's a more of an S tier than an A tier album, right? If you wanted to show someone Metallica and say this is a band that's you should listen to, I don't think it's unfair to say Master of Puppets is the best choice. I think it's like that middle ground between all fandoms of Metallica.
The thing is, I think Master of Puppets as a song you would show someone.
No,
I don't think you would show them Master of Puppets as an album.
Yeah, put on Disposable Heroes. You'd probably initiate someone who might not be super privy.
Okay, put on Orion.
Okay, that's unfair because it's like putting on Call of Cthulhu and
put on Welcome Home.
But here's the thing. Welcome Home. Honestly, yeah, dude. I actually would. Sanitarium is pretty sweet.
I mean, it's fine, but it's not really going to sway anyone.
I'm going to leave it in S tier because I have control over it. How about that?
Then you have to listen when I tell you one to put in S tier. On that note, and Justice for All. That's an S tier.
I was going to say B tier.
You can go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself right now.
Want to split the difference?
No.
Okay, let me hear your argument. What are you thinking with And Justice for All? Why do you think it belongs up here? Let's hear it.
Because I think even though this is full of long songs, they all need to be as long as they are. I think this is an album that knows exactly what it's doing and does it very well.
I have an issue with what you're saying, and here's what, right? So here's how we have to look at a tier list, in my mind at least, right? We're talking about what became before, what came after, and if we want to, we can talk about cultural impact. Because here's my thing, right? I think Master of Puppets is S tier over top of, let's say, And Justice for All for this reason alone. Everything that's done on And Justice for All is catchier on Master of Puppets, and I think the influence from And Justice for All has tainted metal for years to come. I think And Justice for All told everyone who plays thrash metal or heavier genres of metal that it's okay to make 9-minute songs. No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. I think every song that's on And Justice for All could easily be shorter, and it would just be equally good, honestly.
Hey, Marcus, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What was the first Metallica album be nominated for a Grammy?
Was it Black or was it this one?
It was And Justice for All.
But do we consider the Grammy as like a legitimate music institution?
Back in the 80s, yes.
There's some pretty big... we can talk about like Grammys later, but there's been some pretty good snuffs from the 80s. There's a lot of good examples of bands that should have got their...
I'm not saying there wasn't snuffs. I mean, Justice didn't win. It lost out to Jethro Tull.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. That is that same... Right. That is one of the famous ones, yeah. But look, here's what you have to ask, Aaron. Why is And Justice for All better than Master of Puppets? Because if you're going to put it above the tier, we gotta get down to brass tacks. Why is it better than everything else? Right? That's kind of what I'm going to get from you.
Well, based on how you have this tier list, I'm saying it's as good.
True.
I'm saying it's as good and as important as Master of Puppets.
You think it's as important, so you think they're equal influence, because I think the influence is really different. I think And Justice for All is heavier and proggier. Master of Puppets is catchier and I guess you can say, more refined. So they're different. They're very different listening experiences, right? But if
they are different listening experiences, yeah.
But if you wanted to get someone into Metallica,
I would turn on one.
You put on one. That's interesting.
Because one displays everything that Metallica has to offer before and after.
That's a good argument. But is every song like that? Because I don't know if it is.
If you're looking for heavier, you have it. And if you're looking for softer, for the most part, you do have it. You don't have anything quite as soft as what they're going to become outside of, obviously, like the beginning part of one.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that there's a lot on this album that makes it accessible to a lot of people, even if the songs are long.
But I feel like when people talk about classic Metallica era, they're mostly talking about the first three.
First four.
And Justice for All and Black are kind of almost like afterthoughts.
No, I hear everyone talk about first four.
So if that's the case, then And Justice for All is like the underrated gem. The one that maybe doesn't get its fair share, because I feel like people suck these three albums' dicks way more than Justice for All.
I mean, everyone sucks the dick of fucking Master of Puppets.
Yeah. I mean, with good reason. It's like off the wall. In terms of
again, it's a good album, but I don't think it's Metallica quite at their peak. I think they do peak a bit on the album, but it doesn't maintain it.
All right, so I think we have to move on and settle this one. How are we going to do this between Master of Puppets and Justice for All? Can we live with considering those two S tier?
I can. I'm happy with that.
Because I think it's going to get downhill from here. So I would probably agree. Maybe not my favorite Metallica albums. Well, Master of Puppets is. These are probably the best ones. Maybe not necessarily our favorites, but Master of Puppets and Justice for All, we could all probably agree the best albums, right?
I think those are the main two that you'll hear everyone say is their favorite.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I think I can live with that. I think we've argued enough about these two albums because they're both awesome. I think we're kind of like splitting hairs.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess it depends. I guess as a music listener, you must decide whether or not you want the catchiness or you want the proggier thrashierness.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it just kind of comes down to preference between the two. My preference lies on Justice, and yours lies on Master of Puppets. So that's why we have two of us here.
Makes it for good arguments. Okay, so I can live with those two being S tier. Now, Black Album, a little more controversial, but I like this album quite a bit. Is it my favorite? No. Is it one I like a lot? Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do we like it more than Ride the Lightning or Kill 'Em All?
I definitely like it more than Kill 'Em All.
I would agree. So now we're in B tier. Do we think this is an A tier or B tier album? Because I'm kind of going back and forth in my brain. Because the tracks I love off of Black, I really love. The tracks
you hate.
I don't hate any of the tracks on here. I'm just not jazzed about all of the tracks on here.
Yeah, okay. So what would you consider your least favorite track on Ride the Lightning? Would it just be Escape?
Probably Call of Cthulhu, honestly.
Same. What would your least favorite track on Black Album be?
Enter Sandman or Sad But True.
Yeah. Would you rather listen to either of those over Call of Cthulhu?
No.
So I would say it sticks in B.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so okay. So this is probably the first album that's not really a straight up thrash. I mean, it is a thrash album.
It has thrashy sections, for sure.
In the same way that like the Lighter Testament albums are still thrash albums.
Yeah, it's thrash by association.
But it's too thrash influenced to be heavy metal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with that. It's B. It has some great songs on it.
I think also, sorry.
I was just gonna say it's by far the most accessible Metallica album. Hence why it's one of the all-time best-selling albums.
It's a pretty good album to show people who are uninitiated to Metallica.
It's an album you can turn on with anyone who's just a rock fan. Anyone who's like, I don't like metal. And it's like, cool. Let's listen to the Black Album then.
Yeah, you could show it to your mom, and she would probably like some of the tracks on it and think it's a pretty good album. In that regard, it's like Bad by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Just one of those albums most people just seem to agree upon. Controversial
in the metal world.
Yeah. Yeah, controversial in the metal world, not so much the overall pop and rock conversation, but...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, B, sure, why not?
Cool.
I got another one for you.
Yep.
Garage Inc. Wait, that's not Garage Inc., is it? Yeah, it is.
Isn't Garage Inc. the blue one? Right beside Death Magnetic?
Wait, what's this EP again? I don't have my Wikipedia open. Fuck. Garage Days.
Garage Days. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
The 598 EP.
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
I'll be honest. I can live without this one. I'm pretty indifferent.
D tier.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an F. I wouldn't say it's bad but
it's not a bad.
I'm very indifferent to it. It's not something I ever turn on.
For the hardcore fans only.
Very much.
Not for me per se.
Yeah.
They have a Misfits cover. Go
they
figure.
do.
Yeah.
Cool.
What came next? Was it Load or Reload? I think it's Load.
Probably. Yeah, Load comes before Reload.
Where do we put Load? I know where I put Load.
Yeah, where would you put Load?
E. This album fucking sucks, dude.
I think I would rather listen to Load than Garage Days.
Why?
Well, it's far from the best. It's absolutely not the best. It does have some good songs on it. Until It Sleeps is good. King Nothing is a great song.
That's okay. Look, here's my issue with this album. Too much of James Hetfieldisms has come out.
It's also not an album that's very appreciative of your time.
No, a lot of yeah.
Yeah, it's an hour and fucking 15 minutes.
I didn't even know it was that. I never even noticed it was that long, dude. I usually just tune out way before it even gets to like the 40-minute mark.
But yeah, I'd be happy to put this in D personally.
Is it F tier?
Fuck me. No, D. Put it alongside fucking whatchamacallit, Garage Days. No,
I'm leaning towards E. I'm leaning towards E, man. I think this album
fine.
Has some really shit songs on it.
I think it has some whatever songs, but for the most part, I think it's got some decent songs.
Every time we make fun of Metallica, we're essentially making fun of these next couple albums. So I think Load gets OG creds for being the first truly just not good Metallica album. Now, full disclosure though, you get me in the right mood where I'm like several margaritas deep and someone puts on this album, I'm not gonna care.
Several White Claws.
Oh yeah, give me a bunch of White Claws and I'm fucking ready to party. And I will never talk shit about this album to someone's face earnestly, but on my internet show, yeah, I'll let it all out.
So what you're saying is you're a bitch.
I'm saying it's inoffensive, but it's still a bad album. It doesn't offend me. It doesn't like... It's memeable, but it's not the cringiest listening experience ever. But
would you say that Reload is better or worse?
On par. Because they're essentially cuts from the same cloth. In my brain, they're a double album.
I highly disagree that they're on par.
Okay, let's hear it. What's your take on this?
I think Fuel is a fine song. I think The Memory Remains is a great song, and I think the rest of this album can more or less fuck off.
So, of you probably basically said like what 9 minutes of what 50 are good.
Yeah. And it's also not 50. It's an hour and 16 minutes.
Oh my god, that sucks. Here's my thing though. I will admit that there are moments on both of these albums that I like. Obviously, I think Fuel is a good song, but Fuel does have those James Hetfieldisms that just piss me off, dude. The whole give me fuel, give me fire, give me that what I desire, when that really like that James Hetfield drawl. Ah, dude, it's so lame.
It's a great opener for a song though. Or for not even for a song, it's a great opener for an album.
It's bold. It gets your attention, doesn't it? But it's like when you listen to Metallica, you probably don't yearn for that sound, do you?
I mean, more than most things that they do later on.
So I'm just curious, why do you think this album is significantly better than Load? That's the part I'm not really understanding.
Oh, I don't think it's better. I think it's worse. That's what I said.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you. Sorry, I thought you were saying Reload is better than Load.
No, I think Load is better. That's why I wanted Load to be D. So this can be an E. Because I think Load is significantly better.
What do we think about that? Is that too harsh?
I think it's too harsh because I think The Memory Remains and Fuel are both great songs.
Or so we're leaning more towards this as an agreeable position? Because, okay, let's be honest. D tier doesn't necessarily mean... But here's my issue. Does D tier necessarily mean bad? Because I think E tier and F tier, we can make the argument that those are quote-unquote not good or bad albums. And even though you have songs you like... Because I like moments on both albums, obviously.
Yeah.
But of the 1 hour and 16 minute runtime, can we justify the bad?
On Reload?
Both. That's what I'm kind of getting at. Are both these albums bad and therefore deserve the E tier and F tier kind of area? Because D and C, we can argue, are okay-ish albums. You know, C, B are good and blah, blah, blah. What?
What? Anyways. I mean, in fairness, it's really like S is what we're considering to be the best, and how many issues they have is what really dips them lower. Is how I'm looking at it.
But if you look
I think Load has more good in its hour and 14 minutes than Reload does in its hour and 16.
Better or worse?
I mean, I'll accept it, but yeah, I think it's still harsh on the two songs.
No, actually, I take it back. You know what? I think... Wait, other way around. And
no,
here's why.
Absolutely not.
Wait, did I get the order wrong again?
Load is the first one. Reload is the one with Memory Remains and Fuel.
So like that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's why I think this... I can agree with this, right?
Okay.
Garage Inc. Not a good album.
Have you listened to Merciful Fate?
Yeah, I've listened to them in the past, yeah.
No, I mean the song.
I don't recall.
It's a 13-minute mashup of Merciful Fate songs done incredibly well.
Really? I don't remember this one.
Die Die My Darling, obviously another Misfits cover.
Bad cover.
That people absolutely love. Whiskey in the Jar.
Bad.
Jesus, you are brutal.
Yeah. It's not good, dude.
Am I Evil, Blitzkrieg, Bread Fan, Stone Cold Crazy.
But not to be
Overkill.
clarified, not the same. Never mind. I was about to talk shit. My bad. Never mind. I was getting things confused. Man, this album though, not good. Not the same Am I Evil recording. Sorry. It is not the same Am I Evil Metallica bonus track recording. Like the one on Kill 'Em All.
No,
right?
it's Ride the Lightning era. It's Creeping Death.
Oh, whatever. Sorry, I thought the Am I Evil cover was on. It was a bonus track off of Kill 'Em All. Isn't it?
Not that I'm aware of. But I don't know.
Yeah, it was right, dude. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's a bonus track. No, you're right. You're right, it was that era. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
People just like to use.
Sorry, I diverged really hard on
You
this
did.
one. Yeah, I think Garage Inc. is fucking shit. So
I'd
bad.
be happy to put in E, but hey,
I never wanted.
I got what I wanted with Load.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. What's next?
That's a good question. What is next?
It's not S&M, is it? I don't really care that much about S. I don't like S&M, so let's put an E tier.
S&M's just a live album.
Not a good one. I think the whole orchestration thing is really cheesy and stupid.
Right. I mean, I'd be happy to put it in F.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The more F tiers, the better. Yeah. Cool. I'm into that.
Oh man, Saint Anger.
Do you have a hot take about this one? I feel like you do.
Do I? I don't know if it's a hot take. I just think this album's actually good.
Okay, let's hear it.
That's it. I mean, yeah, the production's a bit messy, which everyone likes to rag on, but I think as a whole, the album itself is actually good. It's more or less thrash Metallica back, but it doesn't quite go back to like the first 3 albums or first 4 albums level of thrash. I honestly think it's a better and more concise album than Kill 'Em All. But I don't think it's on the level of Ride the Lightning, so I would say it's a C.
Look, dude, here's the thing. Let's get into semantics for a sec. I would argue it's not really a true thrash recording. I'll throw out a new label. I don't know if this label exists. How about we call it New Thrash, as in NU Thrash?
New Thrash.
Because it's super influenced by like alternative music, like Saint Anger. I mean, Saint Anger, like even the title track, right, where it's like the clean guitar part and James Hetfield singing. That to me sounds very influenced by like post grunge.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely an album of its time.
I think even thrash metal at its worst tries to be Puritan and authentic. For better or for worse. I think this album is thrash adjacent.
But I don't think it has to be. Because we're talking about a band that hasn't actually been thrash for the past 6 albums that we've talked about.
Yeah. But here's my issue. Do you get bored listening to Saint Anger? Because I do. I get really bored. Way more than like the Garage Days EP. But I get more bored than Load and Reload? That's where I'm at with this one.
So the thing is, I get bored listening to Kill 'Em All because I think it's just hella boring. Let's play as fast as we can. There are so many songs on Saint Anger that I would rather listen to, or I will turn on, versus maybe 2 from Kill 'Em All. Again, I don't think it's as good as Ride the Lightning.
Yeah. But look, here's the thing about Kill 'Em All, though. Surely you understand why people like it as much as they do.
No, I don't.
Really?
Because I don't get why people are trying to suck that album off when they then release 3 albums that are significantly better.
Because it was the first, so it has historic relevance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
It's like when you listen back, I don't know, when you watch like old John Waters movies. Like John Waters put out a lot of shit, but like you appreciate him on a cultural level, right? Like I would argue Kill 'Em All is like that. It has that cultural influence and that fascination aspect, but it's a very competent album. It's not a bad album. I think it's way better than all the albums that influenced it. Dude, I'll take Kill 'Em All over any of the what was the band they covered? Any of the King What band was it they covered?
Personal Fate.
Diamond Head. I'll take that over any of the Diamond Head albums. I'll take that over top of any Angel Witch album, and like.
Yeah, but.
So I'm saying that even for the time, I think Kill 'Em All is better.
For the time, maybe, but we're not talking about for the time, are we? We're talking about how it stands up right now, and how it stands up by comparison.
But even in the context of a tier list, we got to give albums historical relevance points.
You made me argue about what came before and what came after for Justice.
Yeah.
But now you're only talking about for the time with Kill 'Em All.
Yeah, because the recording's like almost 50 years old, so there has to be at least some leeway. Whereas Saint Anger has 30 years like senior on that album. It has nearly 30 years of know-how and culture to build off of, and they kind of just regressed, but they missed the mark so hard.
There's a total of 5 years between Kill 'Em All and Justice, so it's not like it's a huge difference.
But big enough.
And again, we're talking about an album that the thing with Kill 'Em All is it's not even what got them big. It's Metal Massacre that got them big.
Right.
So, people picked up Kill 'Em All because they heard Whiplash on Metal Massacre. But that's not the album where they got big by any means. That's not... It's a fine thrash album, but it's far from the best. And everything... All of the thrash that they did after that definitely built on it.
I still can't get behind this idea that, Saint Anger is on the same tier as Kill 'Em All. That's the part I'm, not really with you on. Now, I don't think Saint Anger is total shit. I think it's not a good album, though. I would never listen to it by choice.
See, I'm just following the point of I would turn on Saint Anger before I'll turn on Kill 'Em All. In most cases,
wild. That is so wild to me. So sorry, let's backtrack. Where do you want to put it again? You think
I would put it in C. Yeah.
Can we say D?
No, because I think it's better than Load and Garage Days.
What if we move these two to E and give Saint Anger D?
You can move Garage Days to fucking F. I don't give a shit about that. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're arguing against Garage Inc. and Garage Days is literally part of Garage Inc.
Yeah, but it's different. It's not the same because there's a lot of more. Because Garage, I always get the two confused when I'm saying them side by side. The blue one, Garage Inc., has a bunch of Metallica recordings that were relevant to the time it came out. They recorded new tracks for it, so it sounds like 90s Metallica. Garage Days has the old school Metallica sound, so it's clearly obviously different, right? Aesthetically, it's not the same.
Garage Days is literally part of Garage Inc. It's there.
I understand it's packaged with it, yeah. I understand that part. But oh no, did I just lose it?
You passed it. I could literally see it.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to see how poorly you use Wikipedia.
I hate this. I don't know, man. I think this is rotten, but I'm done arguing about Saint Anger. Just so the audience is aware, I do not condone everything that happens in this list. I do not have total control.
That's why we have two people. I will fight for the Saint Anger fans. All right.
You're their guy. Okay.
I'm the guy.
Where are we?
Are we at Death Magnetic? Is that what's next?
Can we agree this album sucks?
No.
Oh my god. Where is
Why
it?
do you have to hate on everything?
It's not good.
The coffin one.
Metallica has a lot of bad albums, man.
They have a lot of whatever albums. Are we doing Some Kind of Monster? Is that something we're talking about?
No, because I only think there's only one new track on there, right? Do you want to confirm that for me?
No, I don't. Let me see.
I don't even know if it's on here, honestly.
Yeah, it's only Some Kind of Monster that's on there.
Okay, whatever then.
Yeah,
it's basically cut from the...
more or less it's a live album.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, dude, so Death Magnetic, please tell me at the very least it's a D tier album. There's no way it's a C tier album.
Yeah, I'll take D. I'll be happy with that.
A lot of boring shit on here.
I was going to say, I think it has some very fun songs for later Metallica.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it does have some rough shit. Yeah, I'm happy to put it on the same level as Load.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue. I think Unforgiven 3 really sucks. That's on this album.
Yeah,
Bad
but I think Cyanide's a lot of fun.
Cyanide's good.
Yeah.
I think there's moments that are good on this album. Way more than Saint Anger. I think it's more consistent.
I think The Day That Never Comes is literally a watered down version of 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy with D.
Which brings us to Lulu.
Is Lulu next or Beyond Magnetic?
Oh, I didn't even listen to Beyond Magnetic. I'm guessing these are just B-sides, right?
I think so. Are they B?
They're just unreleased Death Magnetic material, right?
All 4 songs featured on Beyond Magnetic were recorded during Death Magnetic, yeah.
Better or worse?
So, can we put it on the same level as Death Magnetic? Okay. So, obviously, I'm the only one who's actually listened to this, and I listened to it a lot, I'll be honest, when it came out.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay, when it came out, sure.
When it came out, yeah.
Do you ever go back to it?
Yes. But only one or 2 songs. So I think half the album is pretty solid. I think the other half is whatever. And it has one of my favorite Metallica songs because it basically screams Metallicaism or James Hetfieldism, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah. It's a lot of yeahs and like...
There's a song that it opens with a song called Hate Train.
That sucks.
And the first line is hate is just a train. It's ridiculous, but you know what?
Dude, that's so good. That's so fucking funny.
I really like some of the stuff on this album, and I think if they cut it down to maybe about half the length, if they cut some of those songs down and got rid of some of the fluff, it'd be good. So
how long is
technically, it's about half an hour.
How many songs are on there? Just 4?
4.
And it's half an hour long? Shut the fuck
there's some
up, dude.
They like their long songs later on.
I hate that era of Metallica. Ugh.
So, yeah, Lulu came out just before this.
Fuck.
But yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, back to Streamlabs. Alright, cool. So, Lulu.
Sucks. Just a meme.
I would put it in E.
Why?
My sole reason for this is it's an interesting album, and obviously it's not whatever you want, if you want to say that, a Metallica album. I think if you look at it from the stance of it's an album featuring Metallica, because that's what it is, and not a Metallica album, it tries to do something really interesting, it just misses the mark.
Yeah, it does try something interesting, and that is a true statement, yeah. But is it good?
I never said it was good, I just don't think it's an F.
I'll keep Saint Anger and see if we give Lulu an F. Like, I don't know about you, man. I have no desire to ever think about Lulu after this stream.
But you don't want to hear about how James Hetfield is a table?
No, I'm good with the meme. I think that's a fine meme.
whatever. I'm happy. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Cool. Where do we put Hardwired? Hardwired's a pretty big, boring, bloated mess.
Hardwired, yeah, I'm happy with D.
This kind of area.
Yeah, like I'm saying D, honestly. Yeah. I think the issue with Hardwired is, yeah, it's very, very bloated. It has way more going on than it needs to. But I think some of the highlights on this album are quite good.
I would argue it's better than Death Magnetic by a tiny hair. So in my brain, if I was doing this tier by myself, I would say Death Magnetic is E, and then Hardwired would be a D. I think everything that happens on Death Magnetic sucks less on Hardwired. But Hardwired has very cringy Metallica-style lyrics.
Hardwired is almost an hour and 20 minutes, and that's not including the additional discs that you get with it, which involves the fucking Ronnie James Dio Rainbow covers, the Lords of Summer, which was a decent song, and I don't understand why it wasn't on the main album. It has a fucking Deep Purple cover, a Maiden cover. Like, if you're just taking the album as it is, it has some good songs and some really bad bloated songs that are like 7, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to this album through, I'm not a big fan of Dream No More. I don't like Halo on Fire, and I don't like Confusion. Yeah. That's more than 20 minutes where I'm just like, and yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, D tier.
Yeah, I'm happy with D. I'm not going to
argue on its behalf in either direction.
Did you say you have an erection?
I said I will not argue on its behalf in either direction.
That's fair.
Well, folks, there you have it. That was our first ever deep dive tier list. We have a Patreon. Please give us money.
We have a Patreon. That's where this is first.
Yes. So if you're watching this on our Patreon, God bless you.
You're the real MVPs.
You are literally keeping me from eating my children. So
that is true.
That is true.
That's true. Yep. You and your erection.
Me and my erection.